On a modern festival poster, the word jazz functions as a marketing umbrella rather than a specific musical genre. Buying a ticket based on that word alone often leads to a mismatch between what you paid for and what you actually hear. The landscape is fragmented. Your money might buy a seat in a 20,000 capacity arena for a 90s R&B group or a bench in a 12th century church for a solo acoustic harpist. Finding the right experience requires decoding these lineups, checking the venue types, and breaking down the total cost. Getting a solid return on your entertainment budget comes down to matching your expectations to the correct geographical and venue framework. We can map these options into 3 distinct ecosystems based on your budget and your desired musical outcome. First is the arena spectacle. This is a high-budget environment built around massive R&B and soul legacy stars. Next is the niche virtuoso, which prioritizes acoustic mastery and traditional instrumental setups in small rooms. Finally, the cultural hub covers everything from nonprofit world fusion showcases to local pub jam sessions. Choosing the wrong branch usually results in a high-priced night that contradicts your personal definition of a good time. The Hampton Jazz and Music Festival is a prime example of the arena spectacle. As you can see from the scale of the Hampton Coliseum, this ecosystem is about mass market reach. Attending means committing to a specific set of logistics, navigating arena parking, sticking to a rigid weekend schedule, and paying at least $70 per day for tickets. The musical outcome is high energy and heavily produced, typically featuring legendary R&B and soul performers. Headliners like Gladys Knight verify the focus on legacy vocalists rather than instrumental jazz quartets. The inclusion of 90s acts like SWV shows how much this ecosystem relies on mainstream pop soul nostalgia to fill seats. You trade acoustic intimacy and instrumental improvisation for stadium-sized communal energy. People invest in these festivals for the legacy hits and the crowd experience, not for purist jazz theory. The niche virtuoso tour sits at the opposite end of the spectrum. Solo jazz harpist Ben Creighton Griffiths is a clear case study here. This requires more effort from the viewer. You have to track a constantly shifting itinerary and often travel to specific, localized dates. These artists play in art centers, local coffee shops, and historic buildings, instead of dedicated commercial music halls. The result is a focus on raw instrumental skill and unamplified sound, often featuring rare instruments and very close quarters. The trade-off is the friction. Dates are sporadic, and you're expected to be part of a silent, attentive audience rather than a party crowd. This ecosystem rewards purists who are willing to handle the travel logistics in exchange for high musical intimacy. The third option is the community and local pub ecosystem, which offers the highest frequency of access. Accessing this means following nonprofit community calendars or finding local spots with established routines, like a weekly Wednesday jam session. Upscale versions, like the Hamptons JazzFest in New York, use community spaces like the Parish Art Museum to host Afro-Cuban and Brazilian fusions. Then there is the historical pub model, like the scene that developed around Kingston-upon-Thames in the UK. These small backrooms where artists like Ken Collier performed are where trad jazz and R&B scenes originally cross-pollinated for local crowds. The trade-off is that you rarely see global stars. The quality of your night depends on the health of your local scene and its funding. You trade the mainstream names for a regular, affordable way to hear world and traditional music. We can use this scorecard to map your priorities to the right ecosystem. If you want a massive weekend singing 90s hits with thousands of people, you are a nostalgia seeker. Stick to the arena spectacle. If you want the silent appreciation of rare instrumental skill, you are an acoustic purist. The niche virtuoso is your best investment. If you want affordable, weekly access to world and trad music as part of your lifestyle, choose the community and pub route. Identifying your specific scenario is the most effective way to make sure your ticket purchase actually pays off. Treat the word jazz as a prompt for research, not as a description of the vibe or the genre. Before you commit to the travel and ticket costs, look closely at the venue size and the historical lineups. If you select your ecosystem and venue scale before you buy the ticket, you can align your budget with the music you actually enjoy.